Hi there, I'm Eli Sipka, and this is the Apatros Review, and I am the Apatros Action 52 Masochist. Over the many years of the period that comprise the video game era, there have been some exceptionally bad games whose legend of bad graphical and technical performance, as well as the outdated engines they use, have entered the folklore of the hardcore gamers of the time. Disappointing, bad, and downright terrible games have taken many forms and appear in just about every single format you can find. There was, however, one game that has brought literally everyone who's tried to complete it untold psychological trauma. One game that has been the bane of 1990s 8-bit console gaming. One game that even the gamers in hell and the devil himself would find himself swearing worse than all the sailors in the entire US Navy every time he tried to play it. The NES Action 52. When businessman Vince Perry bought his young son an illegally produced Taiwanese bootleg, multicart for the NES console, he had no idea it would shape his life and reputation. After seeing that every child in his neighborhood was wanting to play this bootleg multicart, he decided to make his own by keeping within legal parameters. Recruiting free college students with very little actual experience making professional games, but with plenty of enthusiasm to make up for it, and they even did a demo game to impress Perry with, which got them the job, Perry sent them to a 3-week training course in using NES Dev Kit being hosted by another much more professional video game company. Then Perry gave them 3 months to design a total of 52 games to put onto his multicart. Now, to give a little bit of context here, back in the day, it took roughly 3 months, a little bit more, to make one professional game for the NES. Try using 3 months to design 52 games. You're not going to make it, not without taking some ridiculous shortcuts. And as a result, we get Action 52. Released only through mail order in the various gaming magazines of the day being 1991, which was also the case for the Sega Genesis remake that appeared 2 years later, but that Sega Genesis one was actually done by a reputable company. With a price range that was just plain crazy and unjustifiable compared to legit games. And I'm talking about like $200 in 1991 money. You can buy an NES, like a whole bunch of NES games back then for that kind of money. Anyway, Action 52 quickly made a name for itself as the very worst game ever released onto the NES console. The near-universal glitchy and bug-ridden nature of each of the games in the multicart, largely due to the inept programming code, many shortcuts taken for the multicart's development cycle, have all combined to form a multicart that even the devil himself will hate with all the fury of the fires of hell. This is the story of how I played through, and in some cases managed to beat through, either hardcore dedication, or some Game Genie hacking, or finding some exploit, all 52 games on this original iteration of Action 52. I will be doing one extra game for this, which is the Cheetahman 2 game that was unreleased, but has found its way onto the market for collectors. So I'm going to be doing 53 games. And only the original NES games. Now, this is not going to be a comprehensive exploration of Action 52. I'm not going to cover the history of the game too much, or even do too much of a deep dive. Others have done that and done that well. I'm just going to be basically covering I'm basically going to be reviewing each game separately in its own separate video, and basically giving a dedicated rundown of each game. Now, I will tell you what progress I did for each game, and just basically explain, like layman's terms, what you're in for if you play it. Now, by the way, for my playthrough, I actually used FC Ultra for my playthrough. I've actually got two emulators for the NES. This won't work on JNES because of the mapper code, which is 224, which is not supported by JNES. So FC Ultra is the one that will work on this. I should point out that with my ROM, there some revision ROMs of revision A cartridges will have certain bugs. Like, for example, you've probably heard of the 2 games on the Action 52 multicart that don't load on physical cartridges. Well, if you get the ROMs of the revision A cartridges, those 2 games won't load, even if you use the emulators. So I believe I have the revision B. My ROM's not labeled as revision B, but I believe it is, which has some of the bugs fixed, but if you want to play this on emulators, you can. and Nintendo won't strike it down before because it's a bootleg. Okay. So that's going to be my mission for the next part of this year. And I will take a break from this challenge to do some other subjects, but I'm going to be covering like each game's from worst to best. In fact, next episode I'm going to do the worst game of the series and on the cartridge, then work my way up until the best game, and after that I'll do Cheetahman and Cheetahman 2. So I'll save the Cheetahman games for last. If you want a really good comprehensive investigation of Action 52, look up Nico Evaluates. He's a Finnish YouTuber who's actually he's got experience with the Mega Man games, and he actually covered the whole cartridge in one 3-hour-long video. And he managed to beat every game except for the first one I'm gonna review, which is Sea of Doom. Okay, so that's gonna be my challenge for the next few months, and basically gonna be my voiceover over the footage of the games. Now all the footage you'll see is basically me playing the game. Okay, I hope you guys are staying safe. Take it easy, and this is the Apatros Action 52 Masochist signing off. And by the way, I don't do requests, but if you have any questions about games or films or whatever, hit me up in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. See you guys.